If you can, have your kids wear their proper shoes, sneakers, gym shoes, athletic shoes, things like that that have some support because they're going to be doing some walking. So I know it might not match with their costume, but that's going to be the best thing that you can do to help prevent any kind of injuries. Hey, it's Dr. DeCubellis here. We are almost at Halloween. So I wanted to go over some quick tips and stretches that you can do and your kids should do before trick-or-treating. So first of all, obviously based on the age group is going to depend on how long you're trick-or-treating for. But I will tell you that especially once we start getting into those middle young teen ages, even some of the late teens are still trick-or-treating, that's when we start to experience some issues. Now here's where the problems come in. First off is when they're actually doing the trick-or-treating, it's a lot of walking. Most of it is going to be on concrete cement, which is not the best thing to be walking on. The costumes are not going to be the most comfortable. And then also depending on their costume, they might have shoes that don't have the best support. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that trick-or-treating isn't causing us any issues. The other aspect of that is that when we're getting candy, right, depending on what we're putting it in, that's something that's heavy. If we're carrying that away from our body, like out here instead of back over here, it's changing where our center of gravity is. And again, combining with all the other stuff I just talked about can lead to problems. So let's talk about what we want to do. First, if you can, have your kids wear their proper shoes, sneakers, gym shoes, athletic shoes, things like that that have some support because they're going to be doing some walking. So I know it might not match with their costume, but that's going to be the best thing that you can do to help prevent any kind of injuries. Next thing is while they're actually walking, and I know all as parents say it, walk, don't run. We really want to make sure they do that because especially with those costumes, they're not going to be able to move normally. Some of them have parts that, kind of drag around the ground so they can trip. I can't tell you how many kids I've seen trip while trick-or-treating. Now they get an injury, and again, it was something that they just were a little too impatient. So we want to make sure they're walking, not running. Next thing is that if they plan to trick-or-treat for a while, what I recommend is that, especially if the parents can be there with them, and I know once they get to a certain age, they don't want the parents there, but if the parents can be there with them, follow along with like a cart or a wagon or something like that. As they start to get enough, more candy, dump it out into a separate bag that you can leave in the cart. That way they can walk around holding just a little bit of candy on them at any time. This will help take care of the problems with the heavy bag, changing their biomechanics and movement. And again, it's less of a tripping hazard too. Those things that will really help out. Now, the next thing is going to be a couple quick stretches. Again, we want to make sure the arms and the shoulders and everything are stretched out. So one nice one that we can do is if you take one arm like this, grab the elbow and just kind of pull across like this, it's going to help stretch out not only the scapular and the rhomboid area, but even potentially the shoulder if they've got some tight shoulder things. So we do that both sides. Next thing is going to do is really if you just kind of take your hands and interlock your fingers behind, pull back, and go like this and just hold that, help stretch out all of this. Next thing is we want to make sure we're stretching out our legs. So a great stretch to do, I'm going to back up so you can kind of see a little bit here. If we take our leg and pull it up to where we're pulling our leg up like this, that will help kind of stretch out the quads. And then what we want to do is if we put our leg up on a table or a bench or a chair and stretch down like this, that will help stretch the other side and the hamstrings as well. So those things will be very, very helpful, but honestly, it's going to be hard to get your kid to stretch. I get that. If you can do that, that's a win. But as long as we get them to just slow down, wear the right kind of shoes, and empty out the candy as the things get heavier, that's going to be where we're really going to prevent injuries and everyone's going to be safe.